Hi again, boys and girls. It's Mrs. Time, and I'm going to read The Napping House again to you. So, the other day we focused on the different words for the word sleep. Remember, like snoring and snoozing and dreaming and dozing? Well, today we're going to focus on the characters or the people and animals in the story and the sequence of the story. That is the order of the story. What happens first? What happens next? What happens last? So, if you remember, The Napping House is the name of our book, and Don and Audrey Wood, there's a picture of them. They're married. They created this book. She wrote the words, and he drew these cool illustrations, these cool pictures. Okay, so first we're going to start with the characters in the story, and characters are people or animals in the story. So I don't know if you remember, but there was a granny in the story. Do you remember another character? Yeah, you can see him right here, a boy. Do you remember another character? Oops, Granny's falling. Yeah, there was a dog in the story. There was a mouse in the story. Let's put him up here. And there was a cat. And there was a flea, and right over here is the flea. He's that little bug that likes animals. Okay, do you remember the order of who gets on the bed first? Let's see if you do. The Napping House by Don and Audrey Wood. There is a house, a napping house, where everyone is sleeping. And did you know everyone who lives in your house with you is called your family? Who's in your family? And in that house, there is a bed, a cozy bed, in a napping house where everyone is sleeping. Do you take naps at your house? And on that bed, there is a granny, a snoring granny, on a cozy bed in a napping house where everyone is sleeping. Okay, so let's put Granny on the bed. Good night, Granny. Do you remember who gets on Granny? Who gets in bed next? And on that granny, there is a child. Were you right? Did you say it was the child or the boy? A dreaming child on a snoring granny on a cozy bed in a napping house where everyone is sleeping. Let's put the boy next. Okay, do you remember who gets on the boy? Who gets in bed next? Let's turn the page and find out. And on that child, there is a dog. Were you right? Did you say dog? A dozing dog, on a dreaming child, on a snoring granny, on a cozy bed, in a napping house where everyone is sleeping. Okay, let's put the dog on next. All right. Do you remember who is next? Who gets on top of the dog? And on that dog, there is a cat, a snoozing cat, on a dozing dog, on a dreaming child, on a snoring granny, on a cozy bed in a napping house where everyone is sleeping. Did you say cat? Yeah, let's put the cat up. Okay. Who do you think's next? And on that cat, there is the mouse. Did you say mouse? A slumbering mouse, on a snoozing cat, on a dozing dog, on a dreaming child, on a snoring granny, on a cozy bed in a napping house where everyone is sleeping. Let's add the mouse on the very top. Do you remember who gets on the very, very, very top? And on that mouse, there is a flea. Let's go ahead and move that flea right on top. Whoops, stuck to my finger. There it is, right on top. Can it be a wakeful flea? On a slumbering mouse, on a dozing, snoozing cat, on a dozing dog, on a dreaming child, on a snoring granny, on a cozy bed in a napping house where everyone is sleeping. A wakeful flea who bites the mouse. Oh no! There goes the mouse. Choo! Who scares the cat? Meow. Who claws the dog? Woof, woof. Who thumps the child? Thump. And look, they're all moving off the bed or flying off the bed. Who bumps the granny? Bump. Look at that crazy picture. Everyone's gone kind of crazy. Who breaks the bed? Oh boy. I hope none of your napping sessions ends up with a broken bed. In a napping house where no one now is sleeping. Yeah, they all woke up. The end. So do you remember the order of who gets on the bed first? Can you help me remember? We start with the bed and the grandma is on the bed first. Do you remember who gets on the bed next? That's right, it's the child. And then who climbs up on top of the child? That's right, it's the dog. And do you remember the dog sleeps upside down on him? It's kind of cute, like that. Who climbs up on the bed next? Did you say the cat? You were right if you said the cat. And on top of the cat is the mouse. And on the very top, there is the flea. So I don't know if you've noticed, but we start with the biggest person on the bottom. And each time someone gets on top, they get smaller and smaller and smaller until we end up with a very teeny tiny flea. So today we just talked about the characters, the people and the animals in the story, and the order or the sequence in which the story happens. So I hope you enjoyed this again. Have a good day. See you later.